Maslow's hierarchy starts with a simple belief: people are motivated by a series of needs that are stacked like a ladder. The first and most basic assumption is that needs are universal. Everyone, whether a factory worker in China or a CEO in New York, feels the same basic drives. Second, needs are ordered. Lower-level needs like food and safety must be at least partially satisfied before higher-level needs like esteem or self-actualization become strong motivators. Third, the theory assumes progression is incremental. As soon as a need is met, the next higher one becomes the primary driver of behavior. Finally, Maslow sees these needs as intrinsic, meaning they come from inside the person, rather than being imposed by the external environment. An easy analogy is a video game where a player must collect basic resources, food, shelter, before they can unlock advanced abilities, special powers, leadership quests. Additional depth research in cross-cultural psychology shows that the universality claim holds for physiological and safety needs, but becomes fuzzy for esteem and self-actualization, suggesting that the intrinsic label may mask cultural conditioning. The latter metaphor also maps onto reinforcement learning models, where lower-order reward functions are prerequisites for higher-order policy exploration. Maslow divided human motivation into 5, later 6, levels. Number 1, physiological: food, water, sleep. Number 2, safety, job security, health, safe environment. Number 3, love/belonging, friendships, team spirit, family. Number 4, esteem, recognition, promotions, sense of competence. Number 5, self-actualization, personal growth, creativity, reaching full potential. Number 6, later addition, transcendence, helping others achieve self-actualization. Empirical studies give mixed support. For example, a 2015 meta-analysis of 85 surveys across 23 countries found that physiological and safety needs predicted job satisfaction most strongly in low-income contexts, while esteem and self-actualization correlated more with satisfaction in high-skill, knowledge-based jobs. Another study of 1,200 engineers showed a stepwise pattern. Those who reported unmet safety needs also reported low esteem, suggesting some hierarchical ordering. However, many researchers observe simultaneous activation. 30% of respondents in a 2020 Deloitte poll said they felt strong belonging and esteem needs even when safety, contract stability was shaky, indicating overlap rather than strict hierarchy. Further analysis using structural equation modeling, SEM, reveals that while lower-level needs have significant loadings on overall motivation, higher-level factors retain independent variance, meaning the hierarchy is better viewed as a network than a strict ladder. Despite its popularity, Maslow's model faces several criticisms. First, cultural bias. The hierarchy reflects Western individualistic values such as esteem and self-actualization, and may not hold in collectivist societies where community needs dominate. Second, lack of empirical rigor. Many studies cannot prove a strict order, and needs often appear simultaneously. Third, the model ignores situational factors such as temporary crises like a pandemic that can temporarily raise higher-level needs. For example, someone might pursue purpose work even if salary is low. Fourth, the theory is static, treating needs as fixed, whereas modern workers may shift priorities over their career span. Finally, managers sometimes misuse the latter, assuming that simply providing a salary increase will automatically satisfy safety and then move on to esteem. In reality, motivational drivers are more fluid, like a garden where different plants need water, sunlight, and fertilizer at the same time, not one after another. Expanded critique. Longitudinal studies on gig economy workers show rapid oscillation between physiological and transcendence motives, undermining the notion of a linear progression. Hertzberg's two-factor theory, also called the motivation hygiene theory, rests on two core ideas. The first is the separation of factors that cause job satisfaction, motivators, from those that cause job dissatisfaction, hygiene factors. The second is that the presence of motivators leads to true motivation and higher performance, while the absence of hygiene factors causes dissatisfaction but does not motivate. In other words, eliminating bad conditions makes employees neutral. Adding good conditions creates positive engagement. Hertzberg gathered data by asking engineers to describe times they felt very good or very bad at work, and he classified the reasons into the two groups. The underlying assumption is that human needs are dual-structured. There are basic maintenance needs like a car's oil level that must be met to keep the engine running, and growth needs like upgrading the engine that drive the vehicle forward. Mathematical framing. If S equals satisfaction, M equals motivator score, H equals hygiene score, Hertzberg implicitly proposes S equals F of M minus G of H, where F is increasing, and G is decreasing only when H is low. Once H exceeds a threshold, further increases have negligible effect on S. Hygiene factors are external context-related items that when missing create dissatisfaction. Examples include salary, company policies, workplace safety, supervisor relationships, and job security. Imagine a restaurant. If the kitchen is dirty, poor hygiene staff will be unhappy even if the menu is exciting. Motivators are internal growth-related aspects that inspire people to excel. Achievement, recognition, responsibility, advancement, and the work itself. Using the same restaurant analogy, a chef, who is given creative freedom to design a new dish, responsibility and achievement, feels motivated even if the pay is only average. Real-world case: Google 20% time, employees spend 20% of work hours on personal projects. Is a motivator. It provides autonomy and purpose, while their generous benefits package addresses hygiene. Conversely, a firm that offers high salaries hygiene, but micromanages projects may still see high turnover because motivators are lacking. Further illustration, a survey of 500 call center agents showed that 68% ranked flexible scheduling motivator above salary increase hygiene when asked what would keep them longer at the company. Researchers have tried to test Hertzberg's claims with surveys, interviews, and statistical models. A common method is the Job Diagnostic Survey, JDS, which asks employees to rate the presence of motivator items. For example, I have the chance to do something challenging, and hygiene items, for example, my pay is fair. Scores are then correlated with overall job satisfaction and turnover intention. A 2018 study of 2,500 call center agents used multiple regression. Satisfaction equals beta 0 plus beta 1 times motivators plus beta 2 times hygiene plus epsilon. Results showed beta 1 motivators was significant and positive, while beta 2 was only significant when negative, that is, low hygiene led to lower satisfaction. Another approach is factor analysis, which groups questionnaire items into two latent factors that match Hertzberg's categories. However, critics note that self-reported data may suffer from common method bias, and some cultures blend the two factors. Overall, the empirical evidence supports the direction of Hertzberg's claim: motivators drive high satisfaction, more than the strict dichotomy. Advanced validation. Item response theory (IRT) models have been applied to JDS data, confirming that motivator items have higher discrimination parameters, reinforcing their stronger predictive power for engagement. When managers decide how to allocate resources, comparing Maslow and Hertzberg helps clarify whether to fix deficits or build growth opportunities. Maslow suggests a stepwise assessment. First, ensure basic needs, fair wages, safe workplace are met, then add social programs, recognition, and development. Hertzberg, on the other hand, tells managers that once hygiene is adequate, additional money has diminishing returns. The next lever is to add motivators such as job enrichment, autonomy, and meaningful work. In practice, a manager might use Maslow to conduct a needs audit, check physiological safety, then belonging, etc., and then apply Hertzberg to design job enrichment interventions, rotate tasks, give stretch projects. For example, a retail chain could first raise hourly wages, address Maslow's physiological and safety, then introduce Employee of the Month awards and opportunities to lead store events, Hertzberg's motivators. The combined view prevents the mistake of overinvesting in salary, while neglecting purpose-driven elements that truly boost performance. Decision matrix. Mapping each resource, for example training budget, bonus pool, to the level of need it satisfies can be visualized with a 2x3 matrix, Maslow levels versus Hertzberg categories, to ensure balanced allocation. Step 1. Reinforce hygiene, Maslow: safety, Hertzberg: hygiene. Introduce transparent health benefit plans, consistent bonus schedules, and clear job security communication. This removes dissatisfaction. Step 2. Build belonging and esteem. Maslow: love / belonging and esteem. Launch peer recognition platforms, quarterly hackathons, and mentorship pairings. These act as Hertzberg motivators of recognition and achievement. Step 3. Enable self-actualization. Maslow: self-actualization. Hertzberg: motivators offer a 20% innovation time program, tuition reimbursement, and pathways to lead product strategy initiatives. This satisfies higher-order needs and provides intrinsic motivators. The answer should link each step to the theory, show that hygiene is a prerequisite, and explain how higher-order incentives drive lasting engagement. Additional nuance: quantify expected impact using a simple regression model where turnover rate equals alpha minus beta 1 times hygiene score minus beta 2 times motivator score. Explanation: suppose a survey of 120 employees asks them to rate 5 hygiene items H1 to H5 and 5 motivator items M1 to M5 on a 1 to 5 Likert scale. The company wants a single motivation index MI that reflects overall positive motivation. One simple formula is MI equals the sum of MI from I equals 1 to 5 divided by 5 minus the sum of open parenthesis 6 minus H J close parenthesis from J equals 1 to 5 divided by 5. The second term converts low hygiene scores into a dissatisfaction penalty 6 minus H, because a score of 1 is worst, 5 is best. Example data: average scores. Hygiene H1 equals 4H2 equals 3H3 equals 4H4 equals 2H5 equals 3, sum H equals 16. Motivators: M1 equals 4M2 equals 5M3 equals 3M4 equals 4M5 equals 4, sum M equals 20. A compute: MI equals 20 divided by 5 minus the sum of 6 minus 4, 6 minus 3, 6 minus 4, 6 minus 2, and 6 minus 3 all divided by 5. MI equals 4 minus open parenthesis 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 close, divided by 5 equals 4 minus 14 over 5 equals 4 minus 2.8 equals 1.2. An MI above 0 indicates net positive motivation. Here 1.2 suggests good motivator presence, but hygiene issues, especially low scores on H2 and H4, are dragging the index down. Managers can target those hygiene items to raise the overall index. Further application: repeat the calculation quarterly to monitor trends. A regression of MI on turnover rate typically yields a negative slope, confirming its predictive validity. Both theories acknowledge that basic needs must be satisfied before higher-order drivers become effective, but they differ in focus. Maslow presents a sequential ladder, implying that a reward system should first secure physiological needs, fair wages and safety needs, job security, then move upward toward belonging, team building, esteem, recognition, and finally self-actualization, career development. Hertzberg splits reward components into hygiene, salary, policies, and motivators, achievement, responsibility. The practical implication is that pay raises, hygiene alone cannot create lasting motivation. Once hygiene is adequate, managers must add enrichment-type rewards such as autonomous projects, skill building, and public recognition. In designing a system, an MBA student should therefore propose a two-phase plan. First, ensure competitive compensation and safe conditions, Maslow's lower levels plus Hertzberg's hygiene, and second, embed intrinsic rewards such as autonomous projects, skill building, and public recognition, Maslow's esteem self-actualization plus Hertzberg's motivators. The answer should cite examples, for example profit sharing versus job rotation, and note cultural considerations. Hertzberg's model suggests that once hygiene factors, compensation are sufficient, motivators become the key driver of engagement. The Asian subsidiaries likely lack motivators such as meaningful work, career growth, and recognition aligned with collectivist values, team honor, family-like culture. Maslow also helps. Higher-order needs, esteem, self-actualization, may be unmet because cultural emphasis is on belonging and collective achievement. Recommendations: introduce team-based achievement awards, create clear career ladders, give autonomy in project selection, and embed social responsibility initiatives that resonate with local values. These actions enrich the job and satisfy both theories' higher-order needs.